Welcome to another sneak peek Saturday at the Alameda Free Library. My name is Jenny, and today we are reading The Death of Vivek Oje. This is a novel, and the author is Akwaeke, Emezi. Show you this again. It's in our news section. It's a work of fiction. And I'm going to read you the inside of the flap, like always, just so you have a little bit of an idea what this book is about. All right. What does it mean for a family to lose a child they never really knew? One afternoon in a town in southeastern Nigeria, a mother opens her front door to discover her son's body, wrapped in colorful fabric at her feet. What follows is a tumultuous, heart-wrenching story of one family's struggle to understand a child whose spirit is both gentle and mysterious, raised by a distant father and a compassionate but overprotective mother. Vivek Oje suffers disorienting blackouts, moments of disconnection between self and surroundings. As adolescence leads to adulthood, Vivek finds solace in friendship with the warm, boisterous daughters of the Niger wives. Foreign-born women married to Nigerian men, but Vivek's closest bond is with Osita, the worldly, high-spirited cousin whose teasing confidence masks a guarded private life. As their relationship deepens and Osita struggles to understand Vivek's escalating crisis, the mystery gives way to a heart-stopping act of violence in a moment of exhilarating freedom. Compulsively readable, teeming with unforgettable characters, The Death of Vivek Oje is a novel of family, friendship, and the self that challenges expectations, a dramatic story of loss and transcendence that will move every reader. I think that sounds very intriguing. So let's see. Okay, chapter 1, one sentence, and that is, they burnt down the market on the day Vivek Oje died. And then we move on to chapter 2. If this story was a stack of photographs, the old kind, rounded at the corners and kept in albums under the glass of lace doilies of center tables in parlors across the country, it would start with Vivek's father, Chika. The first print would be of him riding a bus to the village to visit his mother. It would show him dangling an arm out of the window, feeling the air push against his face and the breeze entering his smile. Chika was 20 and as tall as his mother, 6 feet of red skin and sun-touched clay hair. Teeth like polished bones. The women on the bus looked openly at him, his white shirt billowing out from the back of his neck in a cloud, and they smiled and whispered among themselves because he was beautiful. He had looks that should have lived forever. Features he passed down to Vivek. The teeth, the almond eyes, the smooth skin, features that died with Vivek. The next photograph in the stack would be of Chika's mother, Ahuna, sitting on her veranda when her son arrived, a bowl of udara beside her. Uhana's wrapper was tied around her waist, leaving her breasts bare, and her skin was redder than Chika's, deeper and older, like a pot that had been bled over in its firing. She had fine wrinkles around her eyes, hair plaited into tight cornrows, and her left foot was bandaged and propped up on a stool. "Mama, Jinjimir?" Chika cried when he saw her, running up to the veranda stairs. "Are you all right? Why didn't you send somebody?" "There was no need to disturb you," Ahuna replied. splitting open an udura and sucking out its flesh. The large compound of her village house stretched around them, old family land, a whole legacy in earth that she'd held on to ever since Chica's father died several years ago. I stepped on a stick when I was on the farm, she explained, as her son sat down beside her. Mary took me to the hospital. Everything is fine now. She spat udura seeds from her mouth like small black bullets. Mary was his brother Ikene's wife, a full and soft girl with cheeks like small clouds. They had married a few months ago, and Chica had watched Mary float down the aisle. White lace gathered around her body and a veil obscuring her pretty mouth. Akeen had been waiting for her at the altar, his spine stern and proud, his skin gleaming like wet loam against the tarred black of his suit. Chica had never seen his brother look so tender. The way his long fingers trembled, the love and pride simmering in his eyes. Mary had to tilt her head up to look at Akini as they recited their vows. The men in their family were always tall, and Chica had watched her throat curve, her face glowing, and his brother lifted up the toe and kissed her. After the wedding, Akeen decided to move out of the village and into town, into the bustle and noise of Overi. So Mary was staying with Ahuna while Akeen went to set up their new life. Chica stole a glance at Mary from the veranda as she watered the hibiscus garden, her hair tied back in a frayed knot, wearing a loose cotton dress in a faded floral print. She looked like home, like something he could fall into, whirling through her hips and thighs and breasts. His mother frowned at him. Mind yourself, she warned, as if she could read his mind. That's your brother's wife. Chica's face burned. I don't know what you're talking about, Mama. Ahuna didn't blink. Go and find your own wife. Just don't start any Valhalla in this house with this girl. Your brother is coming to collect her soon. Chica reached out and took her hand. I'm not starting anything, Mama. She scoffed, but didn't pull her hand away. They sat like that, another picture as the evening pulled across the veranda and sky. Something boiled slow and hot in Chica, thrumming at the back of his throat. This was before Vivek, before the fire, before Chica would discover exactly how difficult it was to dig his own grave with the bones of his son. Man, that's rough. When Ahuna's wound healed, it left a scar on the instep of her foot, a dark brown patch shaped like a limp starfish. Her son Akeen came and took his wife to their new house in Overi. A white bungalow with flame of the forest growing by the gate and guava trees lined up by the fence, and Chica visited them there. These would be the happy pictures. Mary smiling in her kitchen. Mary plaiting her hair with extensions and singing with her full throat in her church choir. Mary and Chica gisting in the kitchen while she cooked. Akeen had no patience for talkative women, and he wasn't the jealous type, so he didn't mind that his junior brother and his wife got along so well. As for Chica, the thing boiling inside him took on a new heat whenever he was around Mary. It sang and bubbled and scalded him where no one could see. He joked to his family that he just liked being in a house with a woman in it rather than his empty bachelor flat, and Mary believed him. Until one afternoon when he stepped behind her as she was cooking and put his mouth on the back of her neck. She whirled and started beating him with the long wooden spoon she was using to make curry. Are you mad? She shouted, flecks of hot curry spitting off her spoon and burning the forearms he'd raised to block her blows. What do you think you're doing? Sorry, sorry. He dropped to his knees, bowing his head under his arms. Biko, Mary, stop. I won't do it again, I swear. She paused, breathing hard, her face confused and hurt. What's your problem, man? Why must you try and spoil everything? Akina and I are happy. You hear? We're happy. I know. Chica stood up slowly and reversed knee at a time, keeping his hands up and looking into her eyes. I know, I don't want to spoil anything. Please forgive me. Mary shook her head. You can't continue coming here if this is what you're coming for. Chica wanted to reach out to her, but her knuckles were tight around the spoon. I know, he said, keeping his voice soft. I'm not joking, she said. Don't come back with this nonsense. Chica looked at the tears hanging wet inside her eyes, and he put his hands down. I hear you. I swear, from now on, you're just my sister. He felt her eyes on him as he reached for his car keys. I'm going. I see you next week. Please, let's just forget today, okay? Mary said nothing. She just watched as he left, her fingers relaxing against the curved wood of the handle, only when the door closed behind him. For the next several months, Chica kept his distance from Overi. He got a job as an accountant at a glass factory in Nigba, the market town he had moved to when he left the village. The company doctor there was Dr. Khatri, a pale Indian man with shocks of gray hair at his temples. Sometimes Dr. Khatri would bring in his niece, Kavita, to help with administrative work. The first time Chica met her, he'd gone in to see the doctor about a cough, and Kavita was at the front desk with files heaped around her, frowning as she flipped through them. She was a small woman with dark brown skin and thick braids of black hair hanging past her waist. That morning, she was wearing an orange cotton dress. She looked like a burning sunset, and Chica knew immediately that his story would end with her, that he would drown in her large liquid eyes, and it would be the perfect way to go. There was nothing boiling in him, just a loud and clear exhale, a weight of peace wrapping around his heart. Kavita looked up and smiled at him, and somehow Chica found the liver to ask her to lunch. It surprised them both when she said yes, as did the affection that unfurled between them in the weeks that followed. When it became apparent how serious their courtship was getting, the doctor invited Chica to their home, where Kavita served them tea and small bowls of muruko. Her wrists were delicate, and her dark hair rained off her shoulders. Dr. Khatri told Chica how, after her parents died, Kavita had passed into his care, eventually coming with him all the way from India to Nigeria. We had some family problems back in Delhi, he said, because of her father's caste. It was better to make a fresh start, Chica nodded. That was the same reason he chose not to live in the same town as any of his family. Fresh starts were good. That separateness was where you could feel yourself, where you could learn who you were apart from everyone else. Picture the young couple in the back garden after dinner, walking along a line of bare rosebuds, Kavita running her fingers gently over the branches. I can't wait for these to bloom, she said. I used to hate the smell of roses back when we lived in Delhi, but my uncle loves them, and now it's strange. All they do is remind me of home. Picture Chica's hand covering hers, serrated leaves crushed under their palms, a quiet kiss where their breaths tangle. This is where I'm going to stop. Sounds like a really easy read to me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little reading, and if you would like to check this out, it's in our news section. You also can place a hold on it. There's our spine label. Again, the book is called The Death of Vivek Oje by Akwaeke Emezi. Yeah, I see you again next Saturday. Bye.